From the studios of DNT, this is the good, the bad, and ugly.
Let's roll the dice. Aphia.
Helen.
Amma. Introducing the host for tonight, Amma,
The bad.
Yay! Thank God it's Monday. I know somebody is very angry for saying thank God it's Monday. People usually don't like Mondays, but we are here. What can we do? It's the good, the bad, and the ugly on DNT, if you just tuned in. On my right is Helen. She's a little sick, a little under the weather, so she couldn't even come on Friday. How are you doing?
Much better, we thank God.
Okay. And Amma, the aspiring MP. You know how we do it. I can't do it on my own, but we are here to review all the top stories in our dailies, and we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll delve straight into our stories. Welcome back. On my right is the good Helen Asante.
What's up?
Oh, you're not well. And on my left is the ugly. I don't like calling her ugly, but you know she's acting ugly, so I'm allowed. Amma Bempoma.
Yes, baby.
And I am your host for tonight. My name is Aphia. Let's go straight into our stories. We pick our first story from the Daily Graphic. Anguish, Joy Herald MPP primaries. The new Patriotic Party MPP parliamentaries primaries held in the orphan constituencies last Saturday ended in mixed fortunes for government. Appointees who had hoped to contest next year's parliamentary elections on the party's ticket. While some of the appointees were successful and earned the mandate to become parliamentary candidates, others were rejected by the delegates. Who should I go first?
Well, I feel this is the most amazing thing. I mean, it's an act. I mean, the fact that the election held was very peaceful. I mean, you could see there's this maturity and then understanding between the candidates. They understand each other, and this shows that we are gradually growing as a responsible Ghanaian. And I mean, we're also swaying away from voters, like you bribing someone to vote for you. The voters are getting more descendant by the day. I mean, there are a few people who I heard that gave cars and monies and stuff like that to other people so they can just vote for them. But unfortunately, they lost. So what was the point to that?
I learned some of the delegates are taking their gifts back.
Okay, whoever will give the gift back to them must be very stupid because you didn't beg them to give you anything.
Well, giving a car is a huge thing.
Well, it is a huge thing, but if the person beg you to give the person the car, that means you're trying to rake somebody or buy a vote that you don't deserve.
I call it inducing.
Fine, inducing. So that's okay. That means that we are Ghanaians are learning. We are swaying away from inducing or enticing someone to vote for you. So now your work will show. Your dedication towards your position will show, and will have people vote for you. I mean, the act of peaceful, democratic, matured primaries has been exhibited by the MPP, and I'm very proud of that.
That I agree with you, Amma. Do you agree that has been a very matured way of dealing with things? Because we had some issues not long ago. I don't want to mention any party, but obviously it was on the news.
Anyway, So at this point, I would want to agree with Gabi Ochedako. I mean, he made a statement on his Facebook, and then the statement read, NPP is not for sale. The New Patriotic Party is not for sale. And this statement appears to be the message to the aspirants that those whose business is to, you know, make money their main visa to the parliament. Like you make sure that you have enough money, give these monies to the delegates, and then you are secured of your votes that you definitely go to parliament. So the monetization of votes is something that we need to look at in this country. And it cuts across NPP, NDC, all the political parties. It looks as if when it comes to primaries or elections, it's a display of how much you have.
Yes.
And so if you have enough money,
yes,
you can be sure of your votes. Indeed, we saw the video playing where there were pictures circulating on social media of one aspirant, Elisha Deborah Odum. If it was in Photoshop. This is video. How do you even say it's Photoshop? Obviously, he branded all these Uber vehicles with his poster and his whatever. At the end of the day, he got about 67. But not being the case, there were other things we saw on social media like cylinder, gas cylinder, the machete, and all of that. But we also know that during elections, even general elections, all these parliamentary candidates give all sorts of items. All sorts of items from bentwa to a bag of rice to oil to live akoko.
In policy.
And this is serious.
You see their heads
projecting in there. So the thing is that when you do some of these things and then you are voted for, the people will come back to you and say that I need monies for school fees, I need monies to go to the hospital, I need this. And then you want to tell us your core mandate as an MP. When you had set the precedent where people can come to you and take ABC from you. So indeed, we can also look at the whole argument in another angle where citizens are more corrupt than these politicians. As a citizen or as a constituent, if two people are vying for a position, let's say myself and Honorable Napo, we come to you. Anyway, let me use A and B. And then looking at the message the two of us have, you can be sure that I can deliver, A can deliver. But if you decide to take monies, take some items from the other person that you think wasn't helping. In my case, the person has been in power for like, he's gone to parliament for like 3 consecutive times. Obey Bibi and Kawaii. So you look around your environment and you see that nothing has changed. So if somebody is coming in with a very good message that you can be sure he can turn, or he or she can turn the constituency around, why don't you vote for that person? But you want to take monies from the Orekash and then vote for that person. In a nutshell, you, the constituents, you are rather, delaying the progress in your constituency by taking those monies from the politician. So this is a two-way affair. Those who take the monies and those who also offer these monies.
Well, but this thing cuts across. It's an attitude of Ghanaian, of the Ghanaian person. They will take the monies, and some people vote for them, others don't.
Yeah.
But like now, if the person needs this money, it's like, yes, I'll take it. The guarantee, what's the guarantee that you come in and you are going to do anything? So it's like we've had it over the years that they come and they don't do anything. So you know what? A bird in hand. What I can get right now is what I'm taking home.
Okay. So going back to the party itself, when you go to the Daily Graphic page 20, continuing the story on the front page, there's a paragraph that says 16 had unchallenged candidates who received the total endorsement of delegates. Now, some of these popular faces in the NPP that went unopposed were a Deputy Chief of Staff, Mr. Samuel Abu Jenapo. We also have Mr. John Peter Amewu. We also have Mr. Yagaba Kobori. And then the National Service Secretariat scheme, okay, so Mustafa Yusuf, all these people went unopposed. It looks as if within the NPP there are some favorites.
Well,
Although
it's
most of
everywhere.
us will be having the party card and all of that, there are some favorites that
It's
they don't
everywhere.
want anybody to contest them within during the primaries.
True.
And I hear NDC, some of these issues happened and some of the aspirants took them to court. But the issue is taking myself into consideration here, where I have decided to contest the Honorable Member of Parliament for Menchia South.
Napo.
You would have people within the party telling you that, no, this one is our favorite. Oh, you know, he has presidential ambition. You know, he's the face of this free SHS. You know, it's a party decision that we don't want anybody to contest them. If we are talking about proper democracy, making sure the rule of law works, then it should apply to everything we do. Where some people are coerced or talked into stepping down for other people to run. So at the end of the day, how do the person accept that, okay, I won't go again? Then you need to offer the person some monies as well.
Yeah, sure. And you find a lot of people taking the monies and backing out.
Okay.
Because
And another important point is how other parties, aside NPP and NDC, have been muscled out, and now Ghanaians are left with NDC, NPP.
well,
So we don't have enough choice to make. It's either NPP or NDC.
It's either or neither, as I keep saying. Miss Asante, there were about 24 women among these people, but I learned only 4 made it. Is it a good thing for a growing, a developing country? Is it because we keep saying we are pushing women, we want women to be up there too, but it's like we are not getting any close to having a lot of women up there.
Okay, so that phrase about women should be empowered and women should be given the opportunity, but this is elections. It comes to the fact that if you don't pull your weight, don't expect anyone to spoon feed you. Regardless of the fact that you're a woman or a man, you have to pull your weight to prove yourself worthy enough for that particular position. But then again, if these politicians will stop giving, voters will stop receiving. You understand? Because if we keep giving and giving to these people, say, come and take a cow and then vote for me. But if you don't give that cow to that person and then let your work speak for you, we will gradually sway away from that part of
That's the problem.
having to take bribe, vote for me, and the person does not vote for you, like you're saying, they're asking for their gifts back. It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, yes, Ghanaians are gradually will descend away from that. If you keep doing that and they don't vote for you, you stop it, and we will get there.
Third parties, this is the problem with dealing with the majority. One doesn't accept it, another person would accept it.
Yes, but if you don't give it, how will the other person accept it?
But the thing is, another competitor will give. That's the sad part.
Okay, so this is a clear example. What happened at the MPP primaries a couple of days ago or whatever is a clear example. Look at this person that goes to brand or vehicles and give cars and give monies and all that. Did they vote for him? No. So the next time he's going to advise himself. So whoever that wants to keep doing that is going to go against you, and you have no choice but to stop, because if you bring it to me and I take it and I don't vote for you, tomorrow would you bring it to me again? You will stop it. So if we stop the attitude of the politicians, stop the attitude of giving and bribery, voters will also stop the attitude of always expecting or receiving, and then let your work speak for you. If you're doing a proper development in your constituency,
You don't
need to bribe.
Yeah.
Your work should speak for you.
Yeah, it's true.
Your work should speak for you. And for me, whoever took money and did not vote for whoever the person is, did a good job. If they're coming back for their money, don't give it to them. They didn't ask you to. Next
Amma,
time.
you don't have 1 minute, so you have
do.
30 seconds.
Okay,
You spoke
okay.
too much.
So with everything we have been saying, I think that if the security agencies and the GRA were serious enough in this country, they will investigate people or politicians who induce voters with vehicles and other expensive freebies. At some point, we need to know their source of funding, where they get all these monies from to throw about, and if they have been fulfilling their tax obligations as well. Because we know that they are getting the monies from somewhere, and nobody will want to throw out monies for free.
They are
So
going
they
to
will want
expect
to cut
something in
corners
return.
and make those monies and push their agenda. So if we are serious in this country, we should be looking into some of these people who come up with such expensive freebies.
Who gives out cars as a dash?
Oh, the NDC did it.
I know, I'm just talking in general.
I-10,
Now,
when
I'm not
I-10
trying
came.
to put any party, but I'm trying to say you don't do that to entice people to vote for you.
People are giving
No,
smartphones
let's
and tablets.
let's just do this on a plain grounds. Let's do this on a level ground. Let's just get
Fair
it
grounds, yeah.
fair, like correct. We don't have to entice people and induce all these things. It's not right. We go for a quick break. When we come back, we are moving straight to the Ghanaian Times.
Hello, this is Nanansa, and you're watching Homeland, the Story of the Returnee, where we dive into the perspective of the diaspora in and out of Ghana. It's fun, engaging, and motivational.
I think Ghana is a wonderful place. I love Ghana. I truly do.
We need our diasporans for our country to develop to where it should be.
Come on, turn around. Turn around, let me see.
Make a date with me right here on DNT every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Homeland. Brain drain, brain gain.
Welcome back. We are moving straight to Ghanaian Times. I can see the president here. Hands are raised. Yay! I'll be endorsed at 2020 polls. President predicts. I'll be endorsed at 2020 polls. Okay, let's see. Page 16. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has expressed confidence that Ghanaians will give him an overwhelming endorsement when the nation goes to polls next year. The president believes that voters will demonstrate their appreciation of the steady progress so far in all sectors of the economy. I am aware that the naysayers are trumpeting in as loud voices as they can muster their denial of what is happening in front of their very eyes, but I know the Ghanaian people, in their majority, are conscious of the steady progress that is being made despite the difficult circumstances which attended our assumption of office. And next year, they will give the opportunity so to announce, he said. The president is very sure, extremely, like, too confident
Yes.
that he's going to win again in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, before I even go to my point, if you're very confident of what you're doing, you're sure of yourself, you boast it. You let the world know, yeah, this is what I'm doing. If you know that your phone is the best, why would you want to hide it or hide
True.
that your phone is good? So for me, I don't feel the slightest bit of uncomfort for him being a bit boastful about what he's doing. He's done well. Steady process or steady progress in every sector of the economy. We should not forget the economy, the economic mess that Ghana was in before 2017. Ghana's economy grew from 7.4% on 7.4% year on year in the third quarter of 2018, following a 5.4% expansion in the previous period. Even the IMF has said that Ghana this year is the fastest growing economy in the entire world. This is something you need to be boastful about. I mean, let's take investment, for instance. Ghana today is the leading recipient of foreign direct investment in West Africa. Now, every Ghanaian is safe, guarded to do any kind of investment or even confidence to want to deposit since the sanitization of our banking sector. There is no fear. There's no fear because you know that, okay, now the right thing has been done, the cleanup has been done, there is sanity in our banking system, so there's confidence. And then let's just also take job creation and employment, for instance. Over 54,892 health workers have received financial clearance for employment, as well as teachers. I mean, look at the planting for foods and jobs, for instance. The planting for food and jobs has seen graduates doing well for themselves and empowering themselves. Entrepreneurship is highly boosted. Because right before, you would have graduates complaining, oh, and I don't have work to do, and I don't do this, and I don't do that. Now there are a lot of initiatives that allows the graduate to be self-employed, to be entrepreneur minded, and then also take the advantage of the planting for food and jobs. There are a lot of people who didn't even think that the planting for food and jobs, like Agric, for instance, was such a difficult thing until they got involved in it. They realized that it was just easy. Right now, farming or agriculture it's not before like you have to go and stand in the weed.
It's become very attractive.
Very attractive, and you have students and graduates are the ones who are not even so boastful about going to sit in the office and wearing suit and tie.
They don't even want it anymore.
They don't even want it anymore.
And they don't want to come
So
out.
there's been some empowerment. Say, if we don't want this, what do we want? I mean, there's a chart for corruption. If I want to go into corruption, if you look at corruption under Mahama in 2015, about if you ask anybody, look, is the government doing enough to fight corruption? Under Mahama in 2015, about 25% said yes, he's doing enough to fight corruption. Only 75.0% said no.
They don't see
anything.
Yeah.
And then this government, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 2017, about 60% says he's doing something to fight corruption, and then 40% is saying no. So 40 compared to 75. We've come a long way. Yes, we've come a long way. So the president he's in his right confidence to be a bit boastful, and then we here at the diaspora too, we have our own opinion about the progress of this. I mean, Ghana now, because since for a diasporan to feel okay, we are doing something, or even come down here to do an investment, that means they've seen some growth, they've seen some confidence. And per our chart that we did, regressing badly is about 4.2%. Regressing slowly is 6.9%. On neutral grounds is 8.3%. Progressing slowly is about 48.6%. Progressing well is 31.9%. So progressing slowly and progressing well, we are getting there. It's almost
there's still progression.
They're still progressing. So it's a good thing. And if I was in the president's position, I will be extra boastful. I'll be extra boastful for IMF to even endorse us, the whole West Africa that we are. It's great.
For IMF to endorse us, then it means we are doing something very good, something extremely positive.
I was listening very attentively when Helen was
so
talking.
give your own submission.
NPP and Buklong, Buklong. You see the statistical figures, all these things. My dear, Buklong are no more lose power. with all these statistical figures stated by the president, the reality on the ground is that the Ghanaian people are still feeling the hardship. Aside all these Afrobarometer, whatever, they should go to Makola today, walk on the streets of Circle, Kumasi, Edum, Central Market, and ask people how they feel, how their economic situation is. You can have all these figures in your books.
I'm even wondering how they came about these figures. It's like you sit in your office
they have the men with pen and paper. Yeah. That is it. The truth is that all these figures do not translate into easy livelihood for your people. And so we have every cause to complain. You can be outside there and giving all these appellations that you are doing well as a president and all of that. But the thing is, when you come back home, they should be honest with themselves. The progression probably has been very gradual and not significant. That is how come you are not feeling it. It is the improvement is too slow that the people living in this country are not feeling that.
That's if it's happening.
That's if it's even happening in the first place. So the thing is that we can still talk about our poor health system that we are dealing with in this country. Recently, there was this picture on social media where a woman had gone through cesarean section and the child had to be giving oxygen or something. They needed to transport the child from one village within the eastern region and bring the child to the regional hospital in Koforidua. They had to go and borrow somebody's pickup and improvise, that's it on the screen, and improvise ambulance. So this doctor was ingenious. He was thinking he needed to save life. And this is how they managed to get to Koforidua. Even with this one, they had to wait for the pontoon for 2 good hours. So when we are talking about how the economy is doing, we need to consider some of these things. He mentioned planting for food and jobs. We should go to all these areas, cocoa farming areas, and all these places they are planting maize, plantain, and all that. When you go all the way to Seshiyo, Sobia constituency, those in there around the border, you would think those places are not part of Ghana. Bad roads, Sankasa. Bad roads, terrible roads. Meanwhile, those places, the soil is so fertile that we are wasting food. Here is a case we are giving so much money, we are putting a lot into this food and planting for food and jobs. Yet we have enough that is wasting away elsewhere, just because we don't have good roads to bring them to the capital for people to consume. Talking about bad roads, we recently saw a demonstration by the people who live around Sofolai to Ebuakwa in Kumasi. Ashanti region roads are so terrible. We were in Kumasi together when Otumfo was celebrating his Akwesi Day. It was awful. I was like, why? When dignitaries across the world were coming all the way to Kumasi for this program, yet from Swami Runabout to Abrepo Junction.
I don't want to talk about runabout. Swami Runabout, it's just terrible. The main runabout in Kumasi.
It's gully.
It's just terrible.
So these are some of the things we have to be looking at. Now, let's go straight to security of citizens in this country. Women and children are not safe. When it comes to these men, they have long legs to run away in case of anything.
Some women have longer legs.
But when we hear issues of kidnapping day in, day out, you feel you are not safe. And so we need to, the president needs to put everything in, because this is economy we are talking about. But the unemployment rate that is going on in this country is a bigger threat to national security. So it takes us back to the Joulu bomb attempt. This one of the doctor was able to open a social media page where he was trying to employ young men to come and work with him. And so when you don't have the youth engaging in proper conduct, probably doing what they are supposed to do to earn a living,
they will do
when
anything to
terrorists call them, they will follow and go and they take the money.
Anything to earn the particular living they want.
Especially, and then touching on corruption. Now, when it comes to corruption, our problem with this government, this current government, is that the president himself is a lawyer. And because he respects the rule of law, he's somewhat slow in dealing with, corruption cases that even come up within his own administration. Oh, I have referred to what word? I have referred to, and we never get to hear anything. There are people who had taken or caused financial loss to this state. There are people who had stolen monies and they are still home, sleeping on their king-size beds, enjoying palm nut soup with Eba. When in someone is there, when this prison in Northern Volta, Ketekrachi is empty. So when during elections, you campaigned so much, you made noise so much, you crudely orchestrated efforts to brand the Mahama's government as corrupt and promising to jail some of the past officials. It's been almost 3 years. Who have you jailed? So when we don't have scapegoats, you don't have scapegoats for us, for people to know that when you do ABC, then how are you fighting corruption? You buy fuel every day, Aphia. The petroleum tariffs is always going up. Recently, we just saw an increment in the communication service tax. A 50% increment from 6% to 9%. So truly, we should be looking at some of these things and stop, adorning ourselves with
Mr.
international
President,
titles.
This your endorsement you are talking about, I think we have to go back into the books because we don't feel it. Well, obviously, maybe in your books, in your papers, but when it comes to the grounds, just descend to the majority, the people on the streets, everybody is complaining.
It's just unfortunate that NDC did not present any better
with
candidates.
The corruption,
if not,
with the corruption issue, we've
books.
not seen anything. We've not heard anything. I even heard something today that Amidu says
special prosecutor.
Michael Quay is trying to
to
tell him to stop to stop all that investigation or not to even talk about ministers. I don't know how true that story is, and I don't know how accurate I'm saying it, but it has to do with that. So please, Mr. President, all that you are talking about, teachers and nurses and all that, we were here when the teachers were going on demonstration. It's so obvious people are crying. So please, do something about it.
Amma
This endorsement thing, I'm doubting it, but we don't have any option to. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we are moving straight to the Daily Guide. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Kofi Upon Ochre, and I bring you NASA on DNT, a program designed to expose corruption and indiscipline in our society and advocate for the punishment of these offenders whose activities impede national development. The National Road Safety Commission indicates that Ghana loses $230 million to road accident, with over 1,600 deaths recorded every year. In 2018, Shraj report indicated that Ghana loses 13.5 billion Ghana cedis to corruption. And United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF has also stated that Ghana loses $290 million to poor sanitation alone. This is not right. So make a date with me, and together let's name and shame the offenders of the law. NASA, see something, say something.
Welcome back. If you just tuned in, you are still watching the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Daily Guide. Alleged doctor plotted to capture president. This man, he's been on the news for quite some time now. It's like every day we will hear something about him. And JJ Rawlings too is saying something here. He's saying NDC can't win 2020.
They know. They themselves they know.
Well, let's go to Alajo. Doctor plotted to capture president, page 3. It is turning out that the kidnapping of the president and the overthrow of his government was the game plan of the Alajo coup doctor and his accomplices. The capture of the president was to be preceded by an explosion of needles from shrapnel-loaded improvised explosive devices. Whoa. At a venue where the commander-in-chief, vice president, chief of the defense staff, as well as top security officials would be congregated. Well played. Well planned. Miss Asante, I think this man was really serious about what he was doing. I thought it was some joke because it was all over social media and we're just making fun of it. But this looks like he was planning like a serious issue.
Yeah, and it's absolutely. And I give credit to the security agent, I mean, especially the defense intelligence, for such a meditated and well thought investigation. Because if they hadn't done this, only God knows, God forbid, what would have happened. This is no joke, and this shouldn't be taken lightly. I'm aside that, I'm just disgusted by how the former president has handled this issue. Then again, he never ceases to show Ghanaians how inconsiderate he can be and how selfish he can be. Has he forgotten so soon when he was in church and an unknown guy entered the church and tried to kill him with a pistol? Has he forgotten? How did he feel about it? And then you have a whole team plotting, not with just cutlass or a knife or a pistol, with bombs, explosive stuff.
And you're making fun of it.
And exactly. I mean, the mockery is too much. We should be serious in this country. Look, with the use of technology we have now, or the kind of technological era we are in now, your pen you have, it's a weapon you can use to kill someone.
Yes.
Even our lipstick, ladies' lipstick, even your brush,
the
watch,
strings,
stuff. Now you don't even need a rifle to aim at someone to kill the person.
True.
Just a tiny little thing you have can kill someone, can cause damage. If you want to harm somebody today, you can do it. You can even monitor and do recording with a pen.
Yeah.
So how much more killing? Killing has become very let me use the word assassination. Has become very easy. But we, on the other side of the world, this part of the world, we joke about everything. We make a mockery about everything. The most serious part of this is the two military guys that were allegedly involved. Okay, fine. It's in court, so the truth will come out. But if indeed they are involved, for a military personnel to be involved, then it wasn't a joke.
At all.
It wasn't a joke because, one, the military does not play.
No.
They are for command and action or something. Action and command or something. When you command them, they take action. So they don't play. And when you're dealing with military, it's a do or die affair. So how do we make a mockery of this? How do we joke with this? It's absolutely not cool.
And to even have two military guys being part of it, then it means the intelligence they are even going to bring in military advice, military knowledge, and all that.
To how to use the grenade, how to throw it, when is the
because
right time.
They are trained.
So
So they will come and train other people.
So how many, only God knows how many more or numbers that they have trained to take to embark on this. What if they had succeeded? Just what if? And then the former president, what if that guy that entered the church with a pistol had succeeded in killing him? Where would he be today? So, I mean, in as much as we want to politicize things, when it comes to serious issues, when it comes to security matters, we should sway away from joking. And especially a former president, the joke is too much. Not everything is politics. Not everything should be politicized, especially when it involves the life of somebody else or the life of Ghanaians. Let me not even say somebody else, because wherever the gathering would have been, there will be Ghanaians there. Yeah. He's a president first of all. The vice is the president. Chief of staff is a president. Is a Ghanaian first of all. So the life of Ghanaians would have been lost. We haven't experienced such a major war in this country before. We shouldn't take it. We shouldn't think it's a joke. It's serious, and I'm happy they are taking this on.
Okay, Amma, Kwaku Bako explained how this whole thing was being, he mentioned 15
years, 15 months.
15 months. You get it?
Yeah.
Let's watch the video.
Video recordings. I've been able to listen to audio recordings. And I am convinced beyond doubt.
Video recordings of the
The
activities
15 months.
and audio of the activities.
Of the 15 months.
Okay.
The scenarios where they even contemplate the kidnapping of the president. They contemplate a situation, and this is VDVD, it's there. It will come out in court. They contemplate a situation where the president, the vice president, the chief of defense staff, and some other top shots are at a congregation, have congregated at a place to explode that thing they were doing there. You see the guy manufacturing with the doctor present. This is video. And they talk of exploding this thing, which projectiles come out, like nails will come out.
Needles.
Yeah, yes, like needles rather, yes. And then also some chemicals that will make you
Rosy.
and then even go off. They contemplate that. These are things that they were discussing and doing. You see the manufacturing in action. They're doing it. But you see, they had been infiltrated. So it was the infiltrators who were videoing and recording for 15 months. And I give credit to the security establishment, defense intelligence especially. The meetings where they held deciding to recruit, it's all recorded. So in my view, this is not one of the fakes. There have been fakes before.
Right, that was Kubako right there. He said this on Joy FM's news file.
Okay. So Aphia, it's a good thing that some top officials and some senior citizens of this country had the privilege to listen to the audios and also watch some of the videos concerning this failed coup d'etat. Now, listening to Kweku Bako on Saturday on Newsfile, the picture, he was able to, describe the whole picture for us to know the seriousness of this issue. Meanwhile, when the news first broke, it didn't come with that sense of that seriousness appeal.
All that information.
And so, yes. Because the information was scanty, it wasn't full.
And
Ghanaians couldn't get it. That was how come we were making fun of it and people making memes of it on social media. Now, if the information ministry did not want to give Ghanaians the full story, or let us know what exactly was happening, they should have kept it to themselves. Instead of coming in with half-baked info for people to just make fun of it on social media. Because if they had kept this info to themselves, they wouldn't have heard anything. You create the impression out there that something is happening, yet we do not have. It had to take people like Kweku Bako to explain, to give us the pictorial evidence of what was really happening in there. And so it takes us back to who is this doctor, this particular doctor, or this group of people fronting for? Because I do not think that they would on their own say, he doesn't even look like somebody who has an agenda to be a president, this very guy. And so we should be conducting more investigations or looking into this whole situation very well to know whether they are just fronting for a terrorist organization or they are fronting for a political party in this country. Because we've had some former presidents writing books and calling it my first coup d'etat. What if this is the second coup d'etat? That did not happen. And then looking at the jokes, the ridicules on social media, it's really coming from some political party members. And then if you see that the lawyers that are representing these guys in court, still a particular political party top executive, top lawyers are representing these guys, what do you want the rest of us to think? if actually you have nothing to do with it? And as a president who wrote a book, and as a former president that somebody made an attempt on your life, you come and sit on. So you write, you make a post saying that what can Bentua do in coup d'etat? Your first coup d'etat, what were you using? What was your plan? So we have to be serious in this country. And this is somebody that a whole political party decided to bring as a candidate for next year's election. They will get 13% with such a person. Now, more seriously, when we give licenses to business entities or to certain companies or people in this country to provide some form of service, why don't we go back to check whether the licenses they were giving are actually what they are using it for? Because this is a hospital that has been operating. How is it that nobody was able to find out the things they were doing there? Aside the Ghana Medical Association, which deals with the certification of the doctor himself, there is HIFRA, the Health Facility Regulatory Agency. Once you go there and look at the setup and see that this facility can be used as a hospital, do you go back to see, or do you have any monitoring roles or a monitoring agency within your units that goes to check what is happening there? Because looking at the hotels, I'm sure they have, the tourism authority have some units that goes there to see from time to time whether the food they are providing, the environment is. They come there regularly. Looking at Ghana education system, they send their monitors around their officers to even public and private institutions to see whether they are teaching the curriculum that the government of the day says this is what they are using. Because at the end of the day, then the people from the public schools and the private will be writing the same BEC. So we should be looking at some of these things, because if not for the fact that the gang were infiltrated, we would have been hearing a different story today.
Sure.
So, yeah,
Are you
I'm
done?
not done.
Okay, you have 30 seconds.
We also need to, as a country, have a social media law. Because social media is becoming the thing of the day, and people are using it for all sorts of things. This same doctor was able to open a social media account where he was trying to lure some of the youth, recruit them into whatever agenda he had set up. And so, even now, there are some countries that have laws or acts on drones, the use of drones and all, because somebody can just fly a drone into your premises and be monitoring what you are doing, and you do not have an idea about it. And so the data, we should also look at artificial intelligence as well. So we do not have to wait till something happens before we run around to get things done. Before we get there as a country, technology is the thing today. Let's make sure we have enough laws to regulate certain things even before we get there.
I said it last week, the intent of even the doctor and his accomplice trying to do what they are doing is a serious issue. Now it's taking a whole new dimension where people are, we are now talking about they were trying to kidnap the president. How is that? And we are making fun of it. That's a very serious issue. It's a very, very serious, and it's very disappointing to hear a political party leader making fun of this. It's just sad. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk. Girls are going to talk. It's girl talk.
Why spend time to commute to ADB for just your statement? ADB offers free quick statements. You can receive it daily, you can receive it weekly, you can receive it monthly, or even quarterly. Right there in your inbox. Just provide your email today and we'll give it to you for free. As an ADB customer, I don't need to come to the bank to check on my balance or transactions in my account. With ADB Quick Alert, I receive it right here on my phone, and Quick Mail in my emails with every transaction, be it credit or debit.
ADB, truly a Greek and more.
Right, the show is still the good, the bad, and the ugly. Girl talk for today. Which is more responsible for lawlessness, the police or the judiciary? Which is more responsible for lawlessness, the police or the judiciary? Mrs. Santi.
Well, if I have the opportunity to choose double, I would say both. The police and then the judiciary.
No, please
Right.
choose one for me.
So the police.
Okay.
Because if the case does not get to the judiciary, the judge, he will not have any case to sit on. So the police rather are more concerned about taking bribes and not even taking any case to the judge, to the court. So they take bribe, you go. They take bribe from B, you go. They take bribe from C. So if you take bribe from me, the next time I'm doing the same thing because I have money to pay you, so I'll pay you.
So in short, it doesn't even get to the...
It doesn't even get there.
To the judiciary.
Exactly, for them to even also deal with it or also take the bribe. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he said I should choose one, so police. So if the police is doing their work as they should, that if you fault the law, you'll be fined or you'll be taken to court, you'll be processed for court, and when you're in court, you'll be fined. The next time I would think twice about committing that same offense, because I don't want to go through that stress of going to be processed for court. Stretch me. When I get there, you tell me I have to pay I have to pay a fine after all the stress, and I'll leave my work to go through all that stress. It's not a pleasant thing. So next time you will not do that again. But if the police I'll fault the law, and the police will just gladly say, oh, take this, I'll do it again. So lawlessness will still continue. Will still proceed or still be active in the system. So it's extremely the police. Yeah.
Police. Amma, Helen says it's the police. What do you think? What's your take? Obviously, you are going to choose the judiciary. So.
Yes, the judiciary. Because we were here in this country where a video just popped up by Anas, where all these people within the judiciary were taking bribes, were even sentencing people that they were not supposed to sentence. And those that could not pay were put in there. And those who actually committed some crimes were left off the hook. We recently also heard a story of the Kaswa killers. We're looking into the story very well. They had an encounter with a policeman who, we don't know what happened, had taken some monies here and there. So he had the chance to go home, plan and come back again and deal with these people. So the judiciary obviously needs to do what they are supposed to do once the matter gets to their remit.
But the question is, do these matters get to them?
They get there. They get
in
there.
Numbers?
They do. They do. And the thing is, we can say they are speculations, but when you have enough money to go and see a judge who is sitting on your case, you are sure of victory. Or you are sure of some arbitration here and there that you can avoid certain fines and certain sanctions. So if our judicial system, we do not clean up the judicial system, even when the police arrest, prepares your dockets, take you to court, within a matter of days, we will see those people still walking about and committing the same crime. We need to look at the whole judicial system very well, because they haven't earned any good reputation for themselves, especially when the Anas tape came out. After people receiving confirm in punching Puna, you can see how Puna na wabo idea homabo ni mo edaho. You see, and monies in black polythenes and all of that. The thing is that we need, it's serious. It's serious, because when you have an issue with somebody and you cannot trust that the court will sit on your case or adjudicate over the matter and give you a fair hearing, then where are we going as a people? People will take the laws into their hands. When you wrong me and I think that I can deal with you, I would deal with you right there instead of wasting my time in the court.
Let me read some few comments. Today we don't have a lot of comments. I think the majority are not really interested in this. I have Peter Jumfo. I think it's the police. Danny Tintin. Police, the way they will extort money from you. Roxanne Richer. Police. Paul Wilson. All the above are thieves. Plain and simple. Those are the comments I have today. I don't have plenty. Mr. Santi, let me have the final
It's
word.
a clear indication that is the police. One time, this Uber guy was telling me that on the Atomic Legon Persec Road, he crossed the red light. This red light he crossed because once you cross the red light or the red light, the traffic light stops at red. Is a pedestrian crossing, so somebody might be crossing. So when you run the red light, you could kill someone. The first vehicle had done that and it was parked. Now he also did the same thing and he was stopped by the same police officer. Now apparently this police officer had been standing there with this guy for like hours, and when he came in like 2 minutes or so, he just pulled out 20 Ghana cedis and shook the police hand and gave it to him.
And he
within
was
2
gone.
minutes he was gone.
And he was still standing there.
The other one was still standing there because he
Doing
had
what?
5 cedis.
Oh,
he had 5 cedis.
they are
in there.
bargaining.
Yes.
Oh, Ghana.
So, so the police officer had said, "Okay, you see your friend going there. You see he's gone."
And he understands.
Yes.
Oh,
because
someone told me that.
He said
If you don't have cash on you, madam, you can momo. I've actually done nothing.
So it's ridiculous how they embarrass the uniform. And they're not even shy anymore. Meanwhile, this person running the red light could have killed somebody.
Yes.
Process him and take him to court. Next time, he won't do that again.
Oh, but the court, the judge too will take a punch.
That is it.
You see why I was saying it's true. It's the double. Both of them are.
But you can only choose one. Let's stick to your police. I have the right to choose two.
If the judicial system is not equitable, then we cannot blame people that much. Because if the person is thinking that when I even take my matter to court, the frustration, we know that in this country, even when you want simple divorce, something very simple, something that is not criminal, that's baby. The way they will ask you to go and come and go and come, sometimes you want to avoid all of these and just pay the policeman and just go your way. If there's a way you could do that. So we should be looking at the legal system and the frustration it brings on people and try to expedite certain things so that we know that if I cross the traffic light, there's a court that is fast track court that is waiting for me. Within 2 days or 3 days, I'll get a fair hearing, pay whatever I need to pay and move on.
Life.
Then I wouldn't waste my time bargaining with the police. You get it? So we should be cleaning up our system and, putting in some reforms here and there.
Let's clean our system and putting in reforms here and there. The thing is, the police is at fault. The judiciary too. Sometimes they will the police. I don't even want to go there because these days police people, they can bargain with you. Please, IGP upon my brother, do something about this because they bargain with you. Somebody actually told me, Madam Khan, Krawat 20 be a Pama Really? The police officer. And you think when I have a bigger issue, I'll confront the police. You see, and the judiciary system to hear what they are doing. We saw videos of what they take from people, checking.
Even getting a lawyer. Now these lawyers do not even understand free bono anymore.
No. Lawyers too are doing their own thing. It's sad. So, on that note, we are wrapping up for today. It's not something I really like, so I didn't pay much attention to it. Thank you very much for coming through. I know you were not feeling well, but you still made it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Dachi MP.
Yeah.
Mesia South.
If they don't bring vehicles and
Amma, what are you sharing?
I don't have anything.
Amma is not sharing anything, but we are coming.
We are coming with
silver and gold. We don't have any. We have none. but you are still coming with good message. It's a wrap for today. Please stay tuned and watch the rest of our programs. Have a good night.